Greetings, YouTube. Happy Saturday with the rare announcement of a new back issues #2 for Variant. My inbox has been flooded with some variation of the same question, given that the size of champions are going to be at the forefront of this new content. Who should I rank up? And so I've got a couple of rules that I want to start this video off, and I do want to say this is a older screenshot from the GOAT, or greatest of all time, known as MCOC Trucos, a website that has several amazing, sometimes daily, infographics designed to make it easier and faster for the community to digest complex information. And this is from, as you can see, June of 2018, so it's almost a year old. So this is leaving out champions like Venom the Duck and The Thing, both of whom, especially The Thing Awakened, have rank 4 potential easily in ranking up your champions. But let's be honest, for the average summer especially, but even for somebody in like a platinum or master bracket, rank up materials are still pretty rare, especially tier 5 basic catalyst fragments and tier 2 alphas for that matter. So rank ups are still very valuable. I don't care where you are in the game. And since rank down tickets are officially a thing of the past and rank up gems are only there if you apparently refuse to play the game for a couple months and the marketing team at Kabam tries to lure you back in with a compensation package that rivals anything you actually get for playing the game, you really don't want to make a mistake when it comes to ranking up your champions. So on the offset, I want to say that what I'm about to say does not apply for two specific circumstances. The first is if you got from the original back issues #1 of Variant a specific rank 3 to rank 4 gem rank up for a 2015 champion. This, for instance, is the case where I had a summoner in the last 24 hours reach out to me that he just took his Awakened Hulkbuster to rank 4, his 5-star Hulkbuster, that is, because he wanted to use his 2015 Variant rank up gem. And I, for one, am very excited to see what videos he sends my way of a rank 4 Hulkbuster. But in general, if you aren't either using something you don't actually have to use real rank up materials and you're stuck at like a 2015 champ, like for instance, aforementioned Hulkbuster, or if you have tier 2 alphas expiring and if you don't use them, you lose them, those are the only two scenarios that I can see ranking up a average at best to below average tier champion. But besides that, you really have to ask yourself a number of questions, and if the answer isn't yes to at least one of these, then it's not worth the rank up. The first is, am I going to use this champion outside of Variant Chapter 2 for sure? So, for example, I love Ronin. My Ronin has been stuck at rank 3 for probably a year now, and I'm very thankful I took my 5-star Awakened Ronin to rank 3, because about 2 to 3 times a year, especially in an event quest boss fight like the last boss fight of this month's event quest, Ronin comes insanely in handy because of that amazing special 1 spammed stun duration. But let's be real. You could do that with a 3-star Ronin if you're patient enough. So it's not like a rank 4 Ronin has a huge difference in utility from a rank 3 5-star Ronin. The same can be said with the original Realm of Legends Wolverine killer, somebody like Guillotine. Now I know Guillotine is not a large or extra large champion, but every once in a while I'll be asked, should I take my Guillotine to rank 4? And I'll say probably not, because at rank 3, she can already do what you need her to do for her main purpose in the game, especially if you don't have someone like Void. So, it is without further ado that I want to kind of break down, using, like I said, an older tier list, so keep in mind there are champs missing from this, like Venom the Duck and The Thing, of who I think you should consider taking up to rank 4 and who you should definitely hold off from taking past rank 3. So, let's start at the very top with the extra large champs. Abomination only really has utility at this point Awakened for defense, not worth rank 4 at all. Dormammu, on the other hand, you could instantly say is great for immunities, is great for power control, and great on defense. Dormammu is a fantastic candidate to take to rank 4, especially with the new variant difficulty. Groot is none of those things, and if you get Groot, you should not be happy at all, because Groot desperately needs a buff. I would even take Groot to rank 2. OG Hulk used to be easily a top 5 science champ. He has digressed a bit because the symbol you see to his right, his His bro from the same mother, Gladiator Hulk, is much better in many, many ways, especially for new content like Act 6. But I still think if you love yourself some OG Hulk, if you got him awakened, if you are able to utilize his insane increase of attack with just a level 1 revive, he's an amazing option against someone like the Collector. I support OG Hulk to rank 4, but not as much as Gladiator Hulk, or even Red Hulk for that matter, to rank 4. OG Hulk is the lesser of those triplet Hulks, though still having very good value. Hulkbuster I would only take up, as I said before, if you have a variant 2015 gem that you need to use on a tech champ, and let's say you don't have Ultron, for example. Okay, so what about Joe Fixit? No. Joe Fixit mainly had value when willpower hadn't been nerfed before. If you play the game after, it's hard to explain, even for Hulkbuster's sake, that it used to be almost impossible to take one of them down in the arena because they would just regen so crazily the more debuffs they had on them. Now, Juggernaut, I also think, is in contention for a rank 4 option because Juggernaut was my MVP against the Collector. However, I wish Juggernaut hit harder, right? There are just not a lot of great things I can say about Juggernaut's crit rate. So really, rank 3 is just fine for Jugs. Now, King Groot, just like Juggernaut, is very solid on defense, but Juggernaut is better on offense. King Groot, I think an easy way to fix King Groot is just to make him have an insane amount of guaranteed poison on his special 2. Right now, it's kind of hit or miss. Kingpin, as an attacker, is underwhelming, and as a defender, is not as good as he was when he first came out of the game. I would not take Kingpin past rank 2, to be honest. Venom Pool is kind of an interesting case study where the special 1 can be useful, and maybe he's a bit underappreciated with that debuff conversion, but I still wouldn't take most Venom Pools past rank 2. And then Thanos, for those of you lucky enough to have Thanos, at least as a collector item, I wouldn't take past rank 3. Now, Beast somehow gets a lot of kills in Alliance War. I can't tell you why, but I would never take Beast past rank 3. I would not take Bishop past rank 3. Now, Cable is an interesting option. I still think Cable is a headache on Alliance War defense, and Cable does have some utility, which makes him a low tier. I put him in the same category of Juggernaut. If you told me it took him to rank 4, I wouldn't think, wow, that was stupid, but I also wouldn't think that was a good decision. It's just, well, if you like playing that champion, I guess I get it, but not a top-tier choice. Now, Colossus, of course, LOL to that. I also realized I need to scroll to the right to cover some champions I missed, so I'll do that in a second. Unstoppable Colossus, the better version of Stoppable Colossus, but I still wouldn't take him even awakened to rank 4. Crossbones, absolutely, is now a champion worth rank 4 consideration, one of the most underappreciated champs in the game. Drax also is, but was more before the Silent Drax nerf, which still triggers me. I also love Howard the Duck. I love this champion. Great prestige as well, but I would not take Howard the Duck past rank 3. Now, Hyperion, of course, is one of the top 2 or 3 best champions in general to rank up of the extra large to large class, and he's still one of my top 3 favorite champions. I think this is a perfect champion in the game. Special 1, Special 2, Special 3, poison immunity, some regen. You got the Fury stacks for days. You got some stun lock ability with Special 2. Luke Cage and Morningstar are also fantastic rank 4 options and above. Ronin, I would still keep at rank 3, as I've said. Sabretooth, a fantastic rank 4 option. She-Hulk, especially Awakened now, is a fantastic rank 4 option. Thor, we need to see as a 5-star. Please, kabam, and then I will 100% endorse Thor as a rank 4 option. Now, let's cover some champs I missed above. MODOK, Sentinel, and especially a 5-star that I still don't have, Venom, are all amazing rank 4 options, especially you get Sentinel awakened, Venom awakened. MODOK I don't really think needs to be awakened as much as those two. Now, Rhino is interesting because I think Rhino's a fun champion to play just with the guaranteed intercept ability, but his defensive value is about to go way up in the new Alliance War seasons if they keep the global nodes, as was the case in the beta, but I wouldn't take Rhino past, a lot of times, rank 2. Let's just be honest. Now, let's go back. Well, we talked about Sabretooth, another great option, She-Hulk and Thor, and then we have both Ultrons and Thor Jane Foster. Now, Thor Jane Foster is another champion that I don't think gets the credit she deserves, but I would not take her past rank 3 ever. Now, Ultron, especially for those of you who haven't beaten Labyrinth of Legends and you have access to the Age of Ultron, I think is still one of my favorite tech champions to play with. I am really hoping to finally awaken mine in the new featured 5-star crystal that comes out next week. So he is certainly another rank 4 option that I would endorse because you have the double immunity of bleed and poison with some pretty consistent regen. People forget, though, Ultron was nerfed a little bit in patch 12.0, which very much annoyed me and made me wish that that was not the case. I think still the most random champion to get nerfed in patch 12.0 was Magneto, who I didn't know anybody who played with Magneto beforehand, but certainly not now. So, yeah, you just really need to ask yourself that age-old question: how many times am I going to use this champion outside of variant? And if the answer is probably 0, especially if they're not going to be on defense, don't take that champion past rank 3. It's not worth the change at all. But there are certain champions whose value has risen because of this new extra large and large size designation. I think Crossbones is one of my favorites. Anybody who says they're taking a Crossbones up to rank 4, I will never argue with that. And then Morning Stars continue to increase in value. Obviously, champs like Luke Cage and She-Hulk have been highly improved since beta testing, as has Venom. So, yeah, I know there's a lot of champions to cover, and I'm sure there are some new champions that I even miss, but I wanted to give a relatively efficient information video on this to help best prepare you for who to rank up. Just remember, you really need to be sold on that champion doing multiple utility usages in the game, because once you rank them up, you can't get those materials probably back ever, and so you really don't want to look back and regret a rank up. Have a great weekend, YouTube. Thanks for watching.